All right, guys, this is it. It is the last match that we're going to be doing here before we actually have to go over to BlizzCon itself, which is very exciting, but even more exciting than that, man. This is the last guy to get eliminated today.
Very exciting.
Yeah, FrozenIce. I mean, he's played really well against Colenso, and he fell just short. But RunAndGun, people felt like he wasn't exactly on top of his game, and he reevaluated. A lot of the Chinese guys were helping him out, saying, this is what you got to do next time. And when you have guys like Tither, Celestial, Chiro, who've been playing well, Nicholas, who's also in the winner's match, helping you, I feel like, you know, you have all the assets there to pick yourself after your defeat.
Yeah, it was rather surprising when he chose Paladin into Zoo, which is like the biggest counter to Paladin. It's really a hard matchup. So if he fixes some of those things, could give FrozenIce a run for his money, but FrozenIce looked really good.
I agree, and I'm so excited there's a Paladin in this matchup again.
That's right. But is it banned?
No.
Oh, please,
Let's get real here. Come on.
When do we find out? I can't wait.
Well, RunAndGun, actually, the first fact has been checked off. He actually has played a Western player as of now in his previous match. But he also is the semifinalist for OGN Season 2.
That's right.
You were able to cast his match, I believe.
He lost to Magic Win.
Yeah, Magic Win.
So, you know, a very good player to get that far, in fact.
And FrozenIce is also a very talented player, too. He's a player who's dominated the top of the Asian ladders, which is not to be confused with the China ladder. They have their own individual servers.
That's right.
The Asian ladders, FrozenIce was really strong, whether it's the season when he dominated Miracle or he's playing things like Hunter, etc. He was able to get #1 and stay #1 for a while. So let's see if he can translate that. And even though he's in the loser's match, it's deceptive because he went up against Colento, and you can.
It looked like he was going to win, to be honest. I thought he was going to at points, but definitely a very high-end player. I think this guy is one of the real dark horses of this entire tournament. Like, if he gets out of this group, he might be someone that comes through and actually wins. But, of course, it's a pretty stacked group, too. He has to beat Colento if he wins here.
Oh, man, that group is just so insanely stacked.
Well, we'll see. Let's see what they banned. It looks like a Shaman ban and a Rogue ban.
That's
interesting.
Goodness.
Paladin is going to be played, that means.
Warlock is free for both players. RunAndGun banning Rogue because he doesn't want to deal with it, even though I believe he has Zoo. This is going to be a really interesting match nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, let's see how this is going to go. It looks like we're going to start off with Warrior down at the bottom. Even though those are all neutral cards.
A bunch of 4 and 5 drop neutral minions.
Yeah, that top one I'm guessing is Zoo, yeah.
Yeah, RunAndGun, he ran Zoo last time. I want to say that he was running unique cards, but when I was thinking about it, the one who truly had a unique Zoo was Strifecrow because he had arcade golems in there.
Yeah, he had the weird one.
Here we go.
Go now.
All right. So the Warrior against Zoo wants Fiery War Axe. What else are we looking for besides that?
We have owls on both sides.
Uh-oh.
It's an owl off.
Parliament of Owls.
That's what it is. Thank you, Twitterverse, for letting us know. It is a Parliament of Owls.
Well, we're in America, so there's no parliament here, guys. We're going to have to call it a Congress of Owls.
Oh, man. Can we really call it a Congress, though?
We can call it whatever we want. Okay. We make the rules. We're the voices on the TV.
We could call it 2 owls.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that.
Oh, man. Still no Fiery War Axe. And it's unfortunate because even if this owl comes out, it's very easy to just get picked off by a Mortal Coil.
That's right. The Mortal Coil is actually what really hurts here. This would be a great move if there was no Mortal Coil in hand. And in fact, Zoo decks right now don't normally play Mortal Coil.
That's what I was remembering. He has two of them. He has 2 Mortal Coils.
That's really different. We just don't really see that card that much anymore.
That is a Senate of Mortal Coils.
Oh my god. That is a breeding pair of Mortal Coils.
Oh, man.
That is a casting duo of Mortal Coils.
Well, you know, now you follow this up, I feel like Narubi Neg is pretty strong. Undertaker is also okay if you want to buff it the following turn, because, I mean, that was the turn for a Fire War Axe, was it not?
Yeah, there's definitely not a Fire War Axe in hand, I would say. You would definitely want to use that on the Flame Imp rather than an Owl on a little spider dude.
But it's just too good to pass up, being able to to taunt up the egg, and it's more mana, so it fits the curve a little bit better.
Yeah.
You don't get to use it to buff your Undertaker now, though.
True.
What do you guys think of playing the Acolyte here? Because if you play the Acolyte, I think there's a decent chance he runs the 3/2 into it. In which case, the next turn you can Senjin plus coin out the execute.
Ah. That is a
and you draw a card off that as well. You have 2 of them in hand. They're like, these are kind of useless. You're not going to play both for a very long time.
You gain 3 life while doing it because it's not going back to you.
Yeah, I think I like that play a lot.
It seems, I mean, otherwise the Acolytes are sitting here waiting for a Whirlwind effect to take place. Like, Deathspite might be drawn, but you're still waiting 2 more turns before you can draw off 1 Acolyte.
And he does actually play the Acolyte.
Yep. Good call.
Yeah, I think so.
But he does have another owl. Uh-oh. Gosh.
Do you really care if the Warrior gets to draw a card here?
It's a valid question. Because in the end, you want to use the owl on things like Sludge Belchers, right?
You could do something like silence it and go to face. Make him come in with it. It makes it like pretty worthless, just a 1/3 body then. But I mean, I would just kill it personally.
Yeah, I think saving the owl is really strong.
Yeah, I actually think that this play was just right, but it will allow him to at least do that execute plus Senjin play.
This is looking like a very brawlable board here.
You're right, 2 brawls, man. Reels didn't know what he was talking about. Oh my god, he actually saves the coin here. I'm actually very surprised that he didn't use execute there, but, you know, we'll see.
I think he feels like if he uses his...
The execute,
and if Doomguard comes out...
Yeah, he just loses.
Right, that's the only opportunity. But it's not like he has a way to pop it.
This board looks like a loss, too, though.
Yeah.
Like, this is so scary, so much damage.
He's got shield block, so he's not really at 20.
That's true.
Right, but there's no shield slam. It's just a misconnection.
Yet.
He needs the brawl.
He needs the brawl.
Well, the tap into the Dark Iron Dwarf didn't really open up any more plays.
Look, I think I would, by the way, keep the egg. I don't want to run the egg in here. Okay, good. Because if you run the egg in, the brawl is just too good. It's like such a strong move. But if you leave the egg like that, yeah, brawl like does brawl even reduce? It barely reduces the damage on the board, and it might actually improve the damage on the board.
Right. Well, FrozenIce picks up Cool Taskmaster who can save the execute. And that just is more consistent with what he's played before. He also has some situational cards that really don't do anything. You know, like Grommash, or sorry, the Grommash is okay, but Ragnaros might improve the power of the board, like you said.
Yeah.
Big Game Hunter, not going to be really targeting anything.
No.
So he's effectively working with 2 less cards in his hand.
Yeah, that BGH, like, he might sneak out if this game goes several more turns, but just as like a dude to trade.
Right. Okay. So he's feeling like his opponent by now has, if he had Brawl, he might have used it before.
Yep.
But now it's like, well, I'm just going to load up the board and not fear because if you obviously don't have it.
Would you go with this, or would you go to face there with that? Like, 4 more damage to face is a lot. We brought him to 10, 15, 7. It would have brought him down to like 3 total, and yeah, there's shield block and armoring up that can start to occur, but I feel like I would have gone to face with that. I think a 1/3 is not...
Oh, that's interesting too.
Yeah.
Well, this makes Brawl a little better.
Yeah, it does. He's had enough health that a Brawl here could start a comeback.
Oh, hey.
Actually, hey. It's... Yeah, kind of. Well, actually, no.
There's just too many 2-1s.
I just like seeing Hogger.
Yeah, you do.
It was good to see you, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, Hogger.
Thanks for joining us. Well, the Zoo player's out of cards. I mean, he's got the hero power. He can still play 2 cards a turn, but
right. But the Warrior's out of time,
and he's out of mana. None of the cards are fitting into his.
Even if you played all the cards in your hand,
he put all these on the board. Does he still?
Does he still loot? Does he still win? Like, can he win it all if he played his entire hand?
Yeah, come on. Grommash, shield block.
Because you know what happens when Ragnaros hits the field? It's going to hit that Nerubian egg.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, can he survive? Let's see. Hold on.
Got to
if only he had
3,
1 more mana.
5, 7, 10 damage on board. He armors up.
I feel like
17.
You know what there needs to be in esports Hearthstone is like when you get a draw like that and you're one mana off the card that's going to make it exciting and close. Like if everyone in the chat presses 1 repeatedly, like they spam the button like those other video games, you get an extra mana. That would be so sick.
Well, Defender of Argus
Twitch plays Hearthstone
is good, but it also makes you even more vulnerable to the brawl.
Oh, I don't think he's going to play it. I don't think he's going to play anything here.
I think he...
Unless that kills him.
Well, he's
I mean, he's so
3, 4,
close.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
There's
11, 12,
so many
13,
turns
14.
where you didn't get brawled.
I think there's no reason not to, because you're drawing closer to Doomguard anyways. These cards are going to be useless damage. And you want to start putting him in within range.
One shield block's gone.
Right. But you want to put him within range to die within 1 card.
This is going to be a great brawl.
It's going to be a great brawl. That's for sure.
I think the Owl's going to win.
Is it time for the Owls to strike back?
It's Owl time.
Owl or Riot?
Oh, you can't play both.
Oh.
It's up now.
Well.
Here we go.
He's going to have to sit this one out. All right.
He's at 5 health. I mean, even after this brawl, we still have a Nerubian.
That's right.
He's got to execute the Nerubian egg first,
right?
He's
got something.
Yeah.
I was going to say I could shield slam afterwards, but it makes total sense here. All right, what's going to live?
Come on, Owl.
We're hoping for the Owl. If you're rooting for
Actually,
FrozenIce.
it's best if the Harvest Golem lives.
Right.
Because it doesn't spawn an extra guy.
Oh. Nope, it's not the Owl.
Oh,
It's
it is the Harvest Golem.
Wow.
How did you do that?
If he does not coin armor, he loses.
Yes.
Well, he knows he has to.
Yeah. And in fact, if anything else had lived, he loses.
That's right.
That was the one chance for him
Yes,
to live.
that was crazy. 7 minions come in.
Another Owl.
This might just end. Nope.
No.
It's going to, though. Guys, I don't think this is going to go his way, guys.
Shield block off the top? Does that help?
Can't. He has.
He just got low-thebbed.
Oh, you're
He
right.
needs. No, Sludge Butcher wouldn't save him either.
He needs 2 Hoggers.
He needs 2 Hoggers, for sure.
Hogger Faceless.
Actually, if he had drawn an Abusive Sergeant, he would have lived. No, he wouldn't have.
Well,
That's it.
All right.
FrozenIce.
he's going to die a hero.
Goes up 1-0.
RunAndGun was the Zoo player.
Oh.
So,
RunAndGun
Run and
goes
gun.
up 1-0.
Oh,
Goes up 1-0. It's been a long day, Ben.
It
has
has
been.
been.
Yeah. So, FrozenIce, if he was able to stabilize earlier, I felt like he had okay opportunities, but like he just drew everything on the back end like way too late. Like, you saw that chunk of cards, the Big Game Hunter, the Ragnaros, and the Gromosh, being very useless in his hand.
Yeah.
So it was as if he only had 1 or 2 cards, and he was top decking his answer to win.
He really needed that brawl. Like,
He did?
too early.
Yeah. Seriously, like, turn 5 brawl, like you've been saying.
Yes.
That would have changed the entire game around. Wasn't the case here, and now he has Warlock and Shaman. I would imagine he's going to go into Warlock.
Yeah, I would think so. FrozenIce is playing Handlock too, right? So Handlock versus Zoo feels like a good match for Handlock, but we said that earlier today before StrifeCrow beat Kalento with that.
Right.
Yep.
They did just announce to us that he's actually going to be playing Shaman.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't think this is like a bad or anything to go Shaman because there is Priest here, and if if Shaman's your last deck and they have Priest left over, it's like, oh, that's bad.
Sure.
What are you looking for in Shaman to beat Zoo? Lightning Storm?
Yeah.
Lightning Storm, shut down any way Undertaker can start, whether it's Rock Biter, the 3 damage attack, or Lightning Bolt,
Lightning Bolt,
Yeah.
right?
even an Earth Shock.
Earth Shocks are nice.
Yep.
You get rid of quite a bit with that.
Yep, you call the Undertaker police and shut it down. Any 1 mana spell.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Ain't no partying tonight.
Feral Spirit? Is that good against Zoo?
Yeah.
Feral Spirits are also decent as well.
Setting those taunts up early
But-
really slows down the Warlock. Like, they have to use normally 2 cards to get rid of them.
I'd actually be okay throwing a back at Feral Spirits if you don't have any other play, because even waiting to
Yeah,
turn 3
yeah, yeah.
sometimes is too late.
Agreed with that. You have to have very low mana
Right.
in your hand. And we see he has to throw this whole hand away right now.
Yes,
It's
and
just
that's
way too
still
expensive.
that's still nerve-wracking because you easily can get even worse cards.
Well, yeah, if he gets a couple Fire Elementals in his hand, he's done for.
Alakir, Doomhammer, Fire Elemental.
Oh,
Cry.
man.
Right.
Well, hopefully he gets Lightning Storm, Rock Biter Weapon, Lightning Bolt.
That would be pretty awesome. Okay, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's not what you want to see.
That's close to the worst.
Very close. Shade Noxram is the only somewhat reasonable card.
Shade actually is somewhat deep.
No.
That's bad news, guys.
If you're FrozenIce, you are about to be sad.
The only FrozenIce is going to be the tears on his cheeks.
Wow,
man.
not bad, not bad. You know, it's actually more clever than people think because it's also really cold in that player area.
And
is it? There's a roaring fire.
It would have to be very cold because
That's why
salt water freezes at a lower temperature than
Oh
regular
my
water.
god!
Yeah,
Who's
I
the
learned
mad
something.
scientist? The guy in the game or you, Artosis?
I'm more of a crazed alchemist myself right now.
No, that's why we have a fireplace there, Ben, because we got to keep the players warm.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, there's the Earth Shock.
All right.
Is it worth turning off that Undertaker right now? You know anything
Hold
else
on.
to do?
Would there be any merit in making a totem there?
Well,
because then you get possibly 2 totems. You don't get the shade the next turn, but it might prevent 3 damage. It might give you a spell power. You know, there's a few things.
True.
A few things it could have maybe kind of sort of done.
No, it's a valid point.
I don't think it's as good, but I think it's kind of an interesting thing about.
How long?
Is this what keeps you up at night, Artosis?
How long can you sit on the shade? Do you have to go immediately into something right now against Zoo?
I think so.
Shattered Sun Cleric.
I haven't seen that card in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, the wells were all clean for a while. So, their duties are done.
The wells were all clean?
Yeah?
What's that mean?
I presume he's referring to the Sun Well, but I also do not believe the Shattered Sun are responsible for maintenance.
Oh.
Probably not, but I mean, if it's shattered, there could have been jobs cut at the Sunwell. These, you know, they have to pick up the slack. You know, the janitor's the first ones to go. It's shattered anyways. They're never going to be cleaning up.
Yeah, I suppose.
You guys.
They'd be riding more than the Germans in the train stations, right?
What?
We must cleanse the
Well, all these, I don't understand what's going on here. You guys are
You don't
way
remember the riots? All right.
What riots?
Train station didn't work for like a week because the
Ben Brode or Picnic.
Okay.
Anyway.
Meanwhile, there's a Hearthstone game going on in front of us. And FrozenIce is still in trouble here.
Hey, what do you guys think of actually using Defender here? I like that. Because then he can kill one of these 3-attack dudes, still have a taunt, and still have a 2-3 out.
It is also the best use of your mana.
Now,
Uh-oh.
you got to attack with him if you want to taunt.
That's true.
That's right.
It's because the Innkeeper has reminded us.
Huh.
A
Ooh,
stealth minion.
I kind of like that, too. That makes a 3-2 run into him. Possibly. I mean, it
Right.
won't. That's not going to be how it happens.
Oh. But now he's got some big plays. Do you go for Dark Iron Dwarf or do you go for some knife juggles?
I think Dark Iron, because if you don't go for Dark Iron, it makes you really, really weak to Lightning Storm, which is what you know your opponent was mulliganing for.
Also true. Also true. When you put it that way, Artosis, I like it.
All right.
And then, if that's the case, then you're using Dark Iron Dwarf and just trading your 3/2s away because you don't want to make it, again, susceptible to Lightning Storm.
Yeah.
That leaves you in a good position. And actually, that Doomhammer is a little similar to Lightning Storm if you leaves both those 3/2s up.
Yeah, but it's at the expense of your health. You're going to be taking a lot of damage.
He's at 20, which is like kind of medium, I think. It's like it's not terrible. It's not. I'm completely afraid yet.
Right.
But it's not great. Like if you're at like 25, 26 health on turn 4, you're quite happy, I would say.
So the option here is potentially to get 3 juggles out of the Spectral Spider and the Dire Wolf Alpha. That's the other.
Okay, just gonna trade right in. Oh, okay. Wasn't thinking that would be the case, but
He has to wait for the juggles, but he doesn't want to wait for the animation to work out anyways. Wow! Optimal damage, regardless.
well, one bad juggle at the beginning. Spider.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, that's not a bad draw.
Lightning Storm would have been a great draw.
Yes, Lightning Storm would have changed this entire game around.
Yeah, because if you Lightning Storm and then Feral Spirits afterwards, it's very difficult for the Zoo player to get past. But
Do you think
now
is Feral Spirit completely better than Doomhammer into the Wolf and the Juggler?
How much damage are you taking? Yeah, you actually lose if that was the case. You take 5 damage.
Oh, okay.
There's
Do you
5
wanna see
remaining.
Taunt
Doomguard
Totem
kills.
there
Yeah.
to just save life. Hope to draw into a Lightning Storm. Is this his only out here next turn?
Ooh.
Oh, that is so painful. If you just make sure to line up your juggles correctly.
Because that's so easy to do.
Yeah. No, just line up your juggles. You can Doomguard next turn. Just like play this on the 1/1, evaluate off of the juggle,
okay.
and just trade.
I thought you meant like literally line up your juggles. You're like, all right, this is where I want the juggles to go.
All right. I mean, now you just Dark Iron Dwarf, same thing.
Here he really wants to hit that 2/3.
Oh, but I was surprised that he didn't use the 1/1 originally on the far left, so that way he could choose, but I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's the same either way because that,
Yeah.
that guy
Yes.
slides in.
So then because of this, do you want to kill off the 2/3 first?
And hope to hit the 1/1 with the juggle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I guess so.
Why not? Yeah.
Wow. Knife Juggler just keeps hitting face.
Well, he's down to 5 at this point, guys.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Even if you got
That's
Lightning
it.
Storm, Frozen Ice is taken out, and it's 0-2 for him. Run and Gun jumps up to a 2-0 lead.
2-0 Run and Gun.
Wow.
Could be another 3-0 in this bracket.
Well, that's what Zoo likes to do, is try to go for those 3-0s. You get on a roll with Zoo, and it's crazy. There's no blue shell in Hearthstone.
I got that reference.
That's good. I hope you did. I think everyone in the world has played Mario Kart at this point.
Wow.
Well, I'm surprised that he went for Shaman immediately compared to his Warlock deck. Perhaps he doesn't feel like Handlock is very strong against Zoo. I thought it has a better chance against Zoo than the Shaman would. I don't know what you
agree
guys
with that.
think.
I do agree with that. I think he was trying to not get counterpicked from the Priest. Because Shaman, you don't want to play against Priest unless you're Strife Crow. And, Priest and Paladin can both be beaten by Warlock. So maybe he's just using like his weaker deck first. He's like, hey, if I roll well and stuff, we'd probably go to game 5.
Sure.
Because then he kills, that Warlock deck. Priest comes out, cleans him up. And then he brings out, his Warlock deck,
Right.
which beats Priest normally if you're handlocking.
Okay, well, either way, FrozenIce has to win 3-0 with his Handlock deck. If he doesn't, his BlizzCon run is over. And in the grand scheme of things, there's no Taiwanese players left.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that's true. Tom did already get eliminated, so
Yep.
kind of a big deal for Taiwan.
Do you think he could do it? Do you think he could win 3 games with this deck?
Yes,
Yeah, you can. Handlock in 3-0, almost anything.
pretty much. Pretty much. Nothing has a super... Well, some things have a super good matchup against handlock.
This is at least one of the cards you want to see for Handlock. I'm surprised. Would you not keep the Mountain Giant, especially when you're going second?
I would say no, because Mountain Giant is a card that's really good against slower decks. Here, I think what you need to do is really use your cards as quickly as possible. See, Real's very professional at that time.
Yeah.
But, I think he needs to play his cards. He can't be greedy. He can't try to build his hand size. And, in fact, Molten Giant's going to be a more powerful card in this matchup.
Absolutely. Having a Taunt Giver is really important. And
He's got
once
a good
more,
hand.
we've assembled the Parliament of Owls.
Look at that owl he's holding.
Yes.
He's just holding it up.
He's giving us some
ready.
good screen time.
Yeah. It's like it's a 2-1.
He's probably talking to it, saying, look, I know I'm going to have to toss you in there, but it's for your own good. You have to learn how to fly. Spread your wings.
What do you think the most commonly used card in all of the decks has been this tournament?
Ooh.
Is it Owl?
It has
It's
to be Sludge Belcher.
Sludge Belcher?
Or Lotheb.
It could be Sludge Belcher, Owl, or Undertaker, or Lotheb. Those are like the cards. in this
Lotheb's
tournament.
only a one of, so
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
so you mean in terms of
most
like
copies.
actual played?
Yeah.
Actual copies, I think.
I would say Sludge Belcher.
Owl's in the top 3, right?
Yes, it's for sure in the top. I think
Good.
the top 3 has to be Undertaker, Owl, and Sludge. Okay, it chooses to do this to the egg.
Coin. Coin is in every game.
Actually, I would argue that there's more Sludge Belchers per game.
Well, you know, these Mortal Coils in RunAndGun's deck have been paying off very well.
They really have.
It's so interesting because people argued that it made Zoo less efficient, but because he's able to kill off these owls, it's been a great metagame call.
Yeah. Those poor owls.
And, like, again, because he took it out, this Direwolf Alpha is protected and able to have a 1-2.
Yeah. And look at the next turn. He's got a perfect play against an Earthen Ring, which is kind of seems like might be the play. He could coin out the Twilight, though.
Yeah, I think
this is
also
very easily removed, whereas the Twilight's actually very hard to remove.
I think he's also counting if he had the opportunity to set up a Mountain Giant, but I think it's just too greedy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be.
That Doom Guard.
Don't want to coin that out on TV.
Nope.
It's one of the most embarrassing things.
Well, I mean, you would count for the next turn if you would tap.
Yeah.
Has anyone tried coining Mountain Giant?
I have.
On broadcast?
No, I don't think on a broadcast.
Okay.
That's something you learn real quick. You're like, what? What? Oh, God, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Ooh, Hellfire. Doesn't
that's
clear
actually...
that dwarf.
That's a super important card. What do you think about coining out Sludge? Because most likely this 5/4 dwarf, he just like fits into the Sludge Belcher. Like,
saves you a lot of damage, then sets you up for Hellfire.
Yeah, yeah, it sets up a really nice Hellfire.
No,
yeah, I mean the Twilight will be weaker later on, but like saving your health right now is a priority.
Yes and no. You have Molten Giant.
You have
That's
no
true.
way to taunt it up, though.
And you do, but well, you do have a possibility of having a strong turn with the Molten Giant and Sludge Belcher. And the thing is, as much as you might want to taunt it up, your opponent does have Iron Beak Owls.
Right.
It's true.
A parliament of them.
It's those owls, man. They are just out of control.
It is. Alfred Hitchcock warned us about this.
You know what? They've been so powerful in this tournament, and I remember that we said the same thing about, you know, the EU qualifiers. Parliament is not a good enough way to describe these guys.
A dictatorship?
A dictatorship of owls. No, because there's two. A console of owls.
That is really good. I like that.
Yeah. I could see these owls laying on a bed being fed grapes.
He's going for board control here instead of saving that for a taunt minion.
Yeah, it's really hard to pass that up.
He must be thinking about
Shadow Flame?
Shadow Flame. That has to be it, right?
Yes. So he's going to attack, trade in the Direwolf?
Yeah, it makes sense. Because he's got it. Well, you know what? This is hurtful.
It is, but
he can Molten and...
Yeah, Molten and... Oh,
he can double Molten!
That's right.
That's like, that is a very quick kill with the taunt coming up.
Yep. But if his opponent draws...
Yeah, Soulfire's game.
No, he can't Soulfire, but if he draws Abusive Sergeant...
Oh, you're right.
That's game.
He's already drawn one, right?
I don't remember. I think he drew both of them last game.
Let's see it.
Abusive Sergeant, which send this
Let's see it. No.
Oh,
the big Abusive Sergeant. The wrong one. No.
Well, I guess on the flip side, at least if you go all in, you know that you're not worried about Molten Giants. They're both out there.
Right.
That's true.
And then you just have to sit back and wait until you draw Soulfire.
Dude, oh my God.
You turn off that enemy hero power, too. You can't life tap anymore.
That's true.
This is so funny. Like... Yeah, he cannot life tap.
Soulfire
and you're going to
win.
face here. You're going to face. You're relying on Sludge Belcher to do everything for you. That's the only... That's it. You drop it, go to face, and you're like, okay, let's just see what you
Do you kill
draw.
off this Doom Guard at all?
I don't think so. I think you go
because
right to face.
You still have... How much damage do you have next turn? You have 19. So if you attack face, it's still fine. Because you have 19 damage anyways.
The thing is, if he gets anything that deals with Sludge Belcher, he loses anyways. So why is he attacking that?
Well, not the silence, but if he had... I don't know. I'm just trying to rationalize here.
Yeah.
I think if you attack face, you still have 19 damage next turn. So attack face here is correct for one giant.
But he can deal probably with one Sludge Belcher, like this thing. So that's not going to
Nope,
give him...
he needs a tap.
Oh boy, he does need to tap. Crazy.
Needs a Soulfire.
Wow.
No.
That's not it.
That is not it.
He didn't have that. Needs to be something else too to keep him alive defensively, but he doesn't have it. So FrozenIce is going to turn around this game with back-to-back Molten Giants.
Showing the power of Molten Giant against aggressive decks.
Yep.
This is how Handlock beats aggressive decks, is getting those Molten Giants for free.
What a great Molten Giant draw there at the last second.
All right.
So close.
The series is alive, and Taiwan stays alive.
That's right. That's right. Gets another chance, and we were talking about this. Handlock can beat anything.
Yeah. And what does he have to beat next? Is this the Paladin deck?
It is.
Oh, and Paladin can beat Handlock. Those equality combos.
You have the Peacekeepers for the Giants, which reduces the attack to 1.
Sometimes they play a Humility in there.
I think he's also got a big game Hunter, if I remember this match
Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised.
Well, he's got a lot of anti-Handlock tech. Even despite all this, Handlock still has a chance. You know why?
Because it's Handlock.
Parliament of Owls?
Your favorite card, maybe.
Because of?
Ragnaros.
Draxus.
Oh, right, of course.
Ben, he could not have spoon-fed that to you harder. Oh, my God.
Because he has a 9-mana. And
he's the Aragar Lord of the Burning Region.
Like, it ends in Axis? You mean...
It's your favorite card.
Jax Raxus, the adventure that came out last week.
Oh, man.
All right.
It's okay. It's been a long day.
You know what? There hasn't been enough facing Jiraxis. It's been so long that I'm forgetting about him.
Actually, as soon as you went away, we had Jiraxis win a game.
What?
Yeah. And it was funny because I was like, oh, he leaves and Jiraxis comes up, and I didn't hear a huge laugh from the back. So I'm like, I guess he probably went to the bathroom or something.
I tried doing the voice for you on your behalf,
man.
But I
should never eat food again.
I am but a feeble man.
Never eat food again. Well, you might not ever see a Jiraxis again either. That's dangerous stuff. All right, he's going with Pally, guys.
We've seen more Paladins than Jiraxis wins games.
Huh?
We've seen more Paladin games than Jiraxis games. Right?
Maybe this is both coming up right
here. It's actually the same. 2 and 2.
Okay.
Now, yeah, I would keep True Silver. Get rid of Consecration. True Silver is just such a strong card. You can just remove so many things. I think you keep True Silver basically every time against every deck.
He's got Ancient Watcher and Iron Beak on his opening hand here.
Yeah, that's
considering mulliganing both of them.
Yeah, I think he wants the Twilight.
Yeah, he's looking for Twilights.
This is a slow matchup. You don't have to play really aggressive. You're going to be light tapping a lot.
Hey, and you know what? He gets back the Taunt Giver and the Ancient Watcher because that's normally how that works, and he gets his Twilight Drake. And against this is a great hand against Handlock. So they're both set.
Yeah, Humility.
He's got so much anti-Handlock tech.
Yeah.
Big game is huge. And yeah, the Black Knight just eats a taunted up giant.
Yeah.
Maybe an aggressive start would have been better for the Handlock player in this game.
Yeah, could have been.
Although Humility nerfs that.
I mean,
a little bit.
The thing about Humility and Peacekeeper is because you know a lot of owls are being ran, you can even just silence that off. So it's not the best insurance.
Oh, we have another.
Oh, God.
All right, I'm changing my vote from coin to owl.
Seriously.
They're in every deck.
Well, it's definitely not coin Frodan. That's like, there's more Lothebs than coins in this tournament.
Are we?
He's going to Mortal Coil that dude.
Yeah. I would be surprised if we didn't.
There's a Lotheb.
He's got a setting up a big Twilight Drake for next turn.
Yeah, it looks like it. So it's a great choice too, because if they do use basically anything on it, it's kind of cool.
He's got the owl that he potentially will.
Oh, dude.
Dude is better if he does go Twilight Drake, because you can trade into it.
Yeah,
without
and
wasting
if he goes Giant, then you play a big game hunter, and anything else that he plays on this turn, you don't even care.
Right.
I mean, but if you want to play around the possibility of it, you can actually play the Ancient Watcher, right?
Yeah, you could. You can go Ancient Watcher, and you can go like Mortal Coil or something. But the thing is, I think the correct way to play Control Paladin in any control versus control matchup is you make a dude every turn until your opponent does something, because it's like such a threat, the dude being out there. Because then even Equality is a 2-mana removal spell. You know, there's like so many things you can do with the dude.
True.
It changes the math so significantly.
I mean, it's unlikely, but any buff spells or Blessing of Kings are much more dangerous when you have a guy who can already attack.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say yes.
See how afraid of this dude he is?
Yeah.
He's afraid.
He's
It's
so
a 1-1.
afraid.
This is it's just a 1-1.
This is what happens when you
It's
face the
just a
silver
pawn.
hand.
It's just a pawn being moved forward.
Well, if pawns get to the end of the chessboard, Frodan, they become queens.
That's true. That's how chess works.
I don't know if Silverhand recruits want to be queens per se, but they do have the effect sometimes of doing so.
So he definitely played around that owl and the big game hunter.
Yeah, and it is the right choice. Now, do you take out this Ancient Watcher?
I think it's not a terrible play, but I like this one a little bit better, actually. He has minions on the board, and he has so many options no matter what happens this turn.
Oh, boy. Now, Giant falling right into place. And, of course, I suppose do you follow up this Ancient Watcher play with one of the 2-mana minions? To give it Taunt or Silence it?
Yeah, I mean, Taunt here, no matter what, this Giant's getting eaten by the big game hunter, I gotta assume.
Right. But then, would you... I mean, you'd probably taunt only the Ancient Watcher.
Taunting would make an equality even better here as a play. If you're afraid of equality.
Sure. That's fair.
I do like Mortal Coil here. Because, again, equality. You'd rather have him trade in the Golem and have your guy live.
But I like the Mortal Coil on the Harvest Golem's Death Rattle effect.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
If he does taunt that Giant, he could coin out the Black Knight. And that's, I think, even worse because he gets to save the big game hunter, which is cheaper for a Giant later on.
Right, so that's why I think you don't want to taunt your Mountain Giant.
Oh, God, that would be so bad. That would be the worst case. Like, okay, if he does this, I do prefer this just slightly, but...
I mean, it is more mana efficient to do this. Not to mention,
it's true.
You're going to be starting to see what Paladin has in this hand removal-wise. You can't play around everything, unfortunately.
Yeah, you absolutely cannot. And all a Paladin deck is a ton of answers.
Great read to play around that Black Knight there. That is usually you think, oh, taunt on my 8/8 sounds good. Sign me up.
Yeah, get through that, will ya?
In this case, it would have been a liability.
Yeah.
It's too bad you don't really want to silence off that taunt because then it activates it for attacking.
Certainly. And this is, I actually like that a lot.
That's a bet against Shadow Flame.
Yeah, and that lines it up for the true silver because, like,
exactly.
Yeah, you don't. If you lose all your dudes suddenly, it's like he can clear the board so much more easily.
But now,
that's a really good.
But
play.
now the Drake is a lot safer.
Yeah.
Or is it? Because then True Silver Champion and the Owl can get past things.
Yep.
Tag teaming. And this 2/3 has to run in the 2/4, right?
Yeah, I
mean, he still could go for a Shadow Flame.
Do you feel like it's a Shadow Flame turn?
No.
You can attack Mortal Coil and then Shadow Flame. With you use your 2/3 to attack his Harvest Golem.
That's
you
true.
Mortal Coil and then Shadow Flame. The
That's
smaller minion.
It's pretty good.
It's funny. It feels like the handlock has so many threats here, and yet the Paladin has got so many answers.
Yeah. Now, what happens? Like a lot of times, this matchup goes very, very long. And we get actually to your favorite card, Draxus.
Yes.
So
Straxus
that
is
could
the X
be
factor
happening
here.
Yeah. This is a really easy turn. True Silver plus Owl. Kill everything.
Boom.
Those dudes are like, they are so ready to sacrifice themselves.
It's a delayed attack. It's the slow Hadoukens. You just don't know how to. You just don't know how to defend against the mix-up. It's a change.
He's got a quality that also deals with one of the Giants. I mean, it just seems like there are never-ending answers. And if he can keep a steady, 2 or 3, 4 damage a turn, plus the life taps.
We're smiting this owl.
Yeah, that owl is gonna die.
We're smiting this owl. What energy? Well, like what element does Immortal Coil? Is it like just dark energy?
Shadow?
It's pretty bright for a shadow.
I thought someone was just throwing a skull. It's because like throwing a skull would do about 1 damage, right? Something dark energy, dark magic, I think would do more.
Warlocks are all about shadow and fire.
Oh, okay.
Hence Shadow Flame.
Soul Fire.
That's right.
This makes sense.
Gotcha. Hellfire. I'm getting it.
So I do believe Morokoili is part of the Shadow Suite.
Well, that's a pretty nice drop to pick up on curve.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad play. I would remove this Lothab. Like, your sword isn't going to get much better than that. And that allows the Guardian to even heal you a bit better.
Right. And you're not trying to rush down your opponent, even though it looks like the handlock player might be wide open. You know in this matchup, the Molten Giants is going to be problematic.
Yeah.
Even though you do have a quality consecration, you don't want to evoke the Wrath.
I would be expecting here as well, just like a Siphon Soul probably coming out this turn.
Yeah.
We can see he doesn't have it, but when you play that guy, you basically expect that. Ooh.
Yes.
And if he taunts this, if he plays this Giant and taunts it up,
that would be bad. That Black Knight would be so amazing.
I wonder if he does go for it, like say he plays Earthen Ring Farseer and double taunts, then I feel like if you should just push for damage as the Paladin, because you do have a quality consecration, so no matter what he does, you have the way to get the final say.
It's true.
To wipe it.
If RunAndGun wins this game with Paladin, that's going to send him to the... keep him in the tournament.
That's right. Yeah. He'll stay alive, and he'll be transferring over to BlizzCon. FrozenIce would stop here.
This Paladin deck almost feels like it is meant to counter handlock. There's so many things.
Yeah, yeah. He's got like it's seemingly endless answers, like you were saying. But the way to beat that, in my opinion, as a handlock is make him use up his answers, and then you play Jiraxxus and give him seemingly or really endless threats.
Well, once again, he's successfully played around a Black Knight.
Mm-hmm. I like the play.
Oh, he's got a Kodo.
Ooh.
That's another way to remove a Giant.
Kodo plus humility is death for a Giant.
That's a fantastic way to do it.
Man, he just keeps getting great answers.
Yeah. One of the problems with a Kodo in the matchup, even though you can line up a way to remove it, is that the taunt givers all have 2 attacks. So a lot of times it's a 50-50.
Yeah. This time, this is like one of the best situations for a Kodo right here, because it's guaranteed to kill the Giant. You've only seen one Owl so far, so you do want the Giant out of here. But it looks like he's considering, maybe he's going to do like Pyro Consecration, because Consecration is not the most useful card.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Move with
okay.
Great.
Same difference.
I did not see that.
No, I wasn't looking at that at all. Now that does remove a Pyro, which can be used with quality, but he already has a Consecration, so as long as he holds on to something.
Yeah, quality and Consecration, even better, all your guys stay alive, so.
Oh, some easy clears here. Baseless the 5/5 and Shadow Flame.
It seems like the play here.
And when you look how many cards he has in his hand, I mean, that's not bad. It's like, yeah, your turn is gone, but, you know, Paladin actually has a limited amount of threats.
Yeah, when you're playing 2 cards to get rid of their 1 card, like Humility Kodo, I guess you have the Kodo in play, but...
Yeah, that's not that much pressure. And as we see, dealt with kind of easy.
Yeah. I like that FrozenIce has also been trying to weave in life taps to get further into his deck. He realizes he needs to get closer to Jiraxxus and other ways to really stall out the Paladin, force out a quality combos like without losing too much of his resource in hand. And oftentimes you can judge how well a handlock player is doing in the game based off of the state of the board and how many cards he's holding.
Yeah.
Well, this is an awkward turn for the Paladin.
Yeah. Do you play the sword and attack him? Like, you hate to do that.
Yeah.
You hate to do it.
He's getting low. I mean, that's 8 damage with that sword.
He's playing around Ooze.
We've seen Ooze occasionally. Like, it looks like he wants to be a little bit greedy with the champion. I think I actually would have attacked him, because he is low. If you pressure him to Jiraxxus a bit quicker, maybe you don't see Molten Giants this game. You know, that's a possibility.
But then you give him the opportunity to play Molten Giant and Jiraxxus if you went for a true silver attack. Are you prepared for that?
No, of course I'm not. I would lose then.
Well, because he didn't attack, maybe he feels the Warlock feels like he's a little safer and is allowed to life tap a couple more times.
He might be holding his equalities and his consecrations, and which is exactly the case.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a quality attack in the Belcher Consecration.
I like it.
Or, you know what? Actually, I like a little bit more, and this might seem crazy, but look how much life gain he has in his hand. I'd like to see a Black Knight maybe on this 3-5 and make a dude. And the next turn, well, the 1-2 is in your way. Because I want to see him maybe use a sword charge into the giant, but I guess that's 16 damage, so never mind.
Right.
That's
Not to mention he might play keep away with taunts, and you're going to have to use Equality Consecration anyways. It is worth looking at a creative play, though. Like, you want to evaluate all things before you move it.
Who's got the advantage in this game right now? It's so hard to tell.
Oh, wow.
I would say until Paladin puts on serious pressure onto the board, Handlock is an advantage. But there's always the case where Paladin can threaten to kill if Handlock is careless, because you have the ability to get through his last line of defense.
I generally feel like Handlock is just a tiny bit favored in this matchup. Like, Paladin definitely can win, but Jiraxis is what swings it.
I think it's the other way around. Like, Paladin's slightly above Handlock.
Okay.
Just because of how much removal. But you have to leverage the removal to end the game. Like, you're not... I mean, Paladin normally is it's like the king of all control, right? Like, you just outweight your opponent. But because Jiraxis is cycled in, you can't be the person who plays the slowest. At one point, you have to take initiative.
Well, the Paladin has only 12 damage to deal to win this game, but there's 6 damage worth of healing in the Warlock's hand, and 3 damage worth of hurting himself.
And he's going to save one of this combination for Tyrion, right? Like, no matter what, he wants to make sure that he'll not use Siphon Soul unless he has Tyrion on the board in front of him. He needs a way to
ideally Iron Begal.
Probably saving the Owl for that as well, Like, if you don't have a silence for Tyrion, that sword is so ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's a 5-3.
Ashbringer is just crazy, man. That's 15.
It chops
what
down
else
Jiraxis.
has 15? Jirax's health. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Whatever Alex Straza does afterwards.
I like this play a lot. It really looks like he's set up to hit him with the sword and the Black Knight, so to make that a bit harder. In fact, even if he had attacked...
So he's, instead of saving resources for optimal play, make your opponent uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, he's a lot more health now.
He wants him to use Equality. Like, he just wants Run and Gun to be forced to use Equality. Does he have to use it here, though?
Yeah.
I mean, how many giants does the Warlock player have left?
He's got 2. 1 Mountain Giant, right?
And one Mountain and 1 Mole.
Okay, that's still.
And a Twilight Drake.
Yeah, got 1 Twilight Drake. That shouldn't be as much a problem. We see is playing that second silence in Spellbreaker.
No, he's played both Mountain Giants. One got BGH'd.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
And then
the other got Kodoed.
Yep.
Right.
So he's got 1 giant left, and then Jiraxis and a Twilight, and those are his like real kills.
And he's only on 6 cards left, so he's getting really deep.
Oh God.
It'd be pretty sad if FrozenIce's last card was Jiraxis, but
yeah, like
that might be a
that
possibility.
could go into fatigue. You know, like that's something to keep in mind. Especially if Jiraxis is down at the very bottom of your deck, you're definitely not going to be Paladin. If, like, for instance, Jiraxis is his next card, that's fantastic, though. Yeah. That's like...
I think you're forced to use Equality, though.
I believe you are correct.
But you don't have to use Consecration, right? So you can just use Equality.
Yeah, you can use your Sword Charge.
Are you playing any other minion, or are you just Hero Powering?
Hero Power.
There's a lot of turns
that feels so bad.
Where you just want to get that 1/1.
Yep.
I mean, even late in the game, sometimes I see Paladins just Hero Power.
There might be a case where using that Holy Light prematurely might end up biting Run and Gun in the back.
Yeah,
because
with the Wild Pyro.
Exactly. There might be a case where he might need that extra sweep with the Wild Pyromancer.
Oh, there's the other giant.
Play. That's got to be frustrating.
Healed too much. Well, now he can taunt it kind of without fear.
Well, he also think he wants to see if... no, I think you want to keep taunters for Jiraxis as much as possible. It's the question if he wants to drop Ancient Watcher. And he wants to make sure that Equality gets used with the least amount of damage possible.
Now, this sucks. This part.
This is a terrible spot to be in for the Paladin.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, Run and Gun had the most anti-hand. He just needed another BGH to make it the most anti-handlock deck possible.
It's very true.
Do you have to Equality here?
Yeah, I think you do.
Well,
What if you take 8 to the face? What are you drawing the next turn that fixes this? By the way, hasn't drawn an Aldor Peacekeeper.
Oh, that's also a really good point.
That's actually one of the most important cards in this matchup as well, and he hasn't drawn those. But I mean, he's drawn everything else that you could ask for, really.
That is really too bad. And that makes FrozenIce a happy camper.
Yeah.
And with no equality, Pyromancer is significantly weaker, which allows FrozenIce to start playing a little bit more aggressively.
Oh my God, 2 owls. It's a whole parliament of owls in his hand.
He's actually, the Paladin's actually also running Spellbreaker.
Yeah.
He didn't feel like the owls were enough.
Yeah, you know, I like the split there, having a Spellbreaker and the owl, so that way you have silences available, but more versatility at different mana costs with bodies.
A lot of Pallies run 1 Spellbreaker and recently added the 1 owl because they wanted a second silence, but no reason for 2 Spellbreaker.
Yep.
The Spellbreaker actually acts as another minion that you can trade with, do damage and stuff, because Paladin is actually so low on kills. Like, either you out-heal an aggressive deck, or you out-fatigue a control deck, but for action pressure, so low.
Here we go.
Yeah, this is a great time for Hellfire. I love it. This is fantastic what we're seeing here. Just populate, go ahead, because you're playing Draxus next turn.
And there's no way Paladin can burst you from 11, so you're tempted to taunt, but still, holding on to the Sun Fury Protect as many taunt givers as possible with Jaraxxus is the best way to optimize your turn post-Jaraxxus. It's tempting, though.
The thing is, he's just trying to be like Superman efficient right now, and he does have another taunt giver. I think this is completely fine. Okay. There's no more equalities. He's used both True Silvers. He's used Black Knight. This taunt is actually hard to get through.
That is such bad luck for RunAndGun to have equality come right before Aldor Peacekeeper.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But such is Hearthstone.
What do you... this is... Ugh.
This is where playing the Pyromancer is actually somewhat backfiring, right?
Are we going to see this Warlock tie the game up?
Very realistic possibility.
Go to game 5?
Oh, wow. He's not even going to play Draxus yet.
No need to.
It's actually true. He doesn't need to.
Is he afraid of Harrison Jones?
Some Pallies do run it. Hey, why not just life tap again?
You don't need a tap.
I guess you're low on cards. Yeah. There's no point.
Oh!
Sword of Justice.
Sword of Justice?
This is actually something that Chinese players do with their Pally decks.
Whoa!
Yeah, a lot of them run 1 in their Pally control decks, which is kind of weird and funny, but cool.
And you could play that with Consecration Spellbreaker this turn.
Yes, you could.
Wow, we still got the coin.
That's true, and with the Spellbreaker and the Consecration.
But using Sword of Justice to get
I'm surprised he didn't use Sword of Justice with this, but okay. I guess it doesn't matter if you're going to trade him in anyways to the...
I suppose so.
Yeah, it makes sense then.
Alright, I think it might be time for Jaraxxus.
Oh, I hope you are right.
You're running out of time.
And you got a lot of damage to deal.
You need the turns to start using Infernals.
That's true. You do need a few turns of Infernals normally. Like, Paladin will deal with the first 2-3 Infernals without too much trouble.
Peacekeeper? I guess you could silence off the Aldor Peacekeeper buffs. You've got 2 owls still.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Because that's one way that you deal with them. And the fact that no owls have been used yet is actually a little bit weird. Like, normally you'll see an owl be used by now. Or an Aldor be used by now.
Well, the first he was probably saving for Tyrion, do the second one pretty late.
He's going to Soulfire this 4-3 then.
Oh, you guys. What? Oh, you face Jaraxxus!
Couldn't even finish
it. Man. You rarely see him yell about the timer.
Owl. I think that was one of the better discards,
though. Oh, man.
Because he still
That owl flew the coop.
Oh, where's the... You gotta... Oh, man, I'm disappointed in RunAndGun. You gotta greet Jaraxxus when he arrives.
Yes. You face Jaraxxus.
You should do a greetings to him, actually. I'm gonna give him a 4 for bad manner for that play.
You gotta be polite to Jaraxxus. Come on.
Yeah, where's the Well-Mets?
He's angry about that, too.
He's angry about everything.
All right, well, you Infernal for sure.
Yep. Play your Sludge Belcher attack.
Right.
Right into face. Like, I think you just put everything into face. You're not going to use this as cleanup at all.
Yep.
He has to win through fatigue here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Paladin's not on fatigue. He's got to start whacking ASAP.
Thing is, he has some great cards left in his deck as well. I bet you he plays like either KT or Alex Straza.
Oh! That is a huge draw.
You must be kidding me.
Your paws belong in a
That's
museum.
right. Give me those hands.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Hearthstone doesn't even know how to process this moment.
Look at these cards. Oh my God.
What? What was in this deck this whole time?
What?
This is crazy.
Oh, and by the way, Harrison Jones is a 6'5".
Wow.
This game just got blown wide open.
How much damage does he actually have right now? Because okay, he can like silence that. That's 10, 13, 17, 18, 19.
He's got 19
he actually has
damage.
19 points of damage. And actually, he will kill him if he doesn't make that one attack because then he can silence his guy unless he plays a taunt. Like this actually could end up still being a win.
Right, RunAndGun still might die. Okay, so he's being indecisive. He's also running out of time.
Yeah, he needs to figure this out.
Okay, well, Lothar also not Lothar.
No, this is.
Is it deny it?
Hold on. It's you can still play that. You can still play that. You can silence your 4.
But you can't defend
so
Vargas.
that's 10, 13, 17. Okay, yeah, you're right. You don't. You just don't have enough mana.
Wow.
Wow,
you have to Shadow Flame, right? This board is too strong.
Yes, you have to Shadow Flame, I would say.
So, but you can't Infernal.
That's okay though. That's okay.
Oh,
you still have life gain.
You don't have a lot of aggro.
This board is so crazy. Look at that board. 6-5, 6-6.
What happened to this game? Unbelievable.
I think he's gonna. This is so weird.
Yeah,
like,
FrozenIce still has this, I believe.
Thing is, he might. Yeah. I think you're right.
If he silences in the next card in the Paladin deck is Tyrion.
Oh my God. He's almost out of cards. I mean, he's getting really low as well.
He's making a big push here for damage, and then you taunt up with
this
Defender
is one less
Vargas.
Taunt, though.
No, it's one less taunt, but you have two defenders.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. You can taunt that owl right up.
I can't believe this game's still going on.
Yeah.
I can't believe it either. This is just so crazy.
Look
at what
up,
we're seeing here.
You taunt up the second Infernal?
Yeah, both. Taunt everything.
Push.
All the taunts. Okay.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So what do you need here if you're a Paladin? You're out of equalities. You don't have a Pyromancer to help do some big shenanigans.
Well, you could. How many cards does he have left in his deck?
I think he's got 2 or 3 cards left.
God, so Lay on Hands is not what you want. Tyrion, it would be like kind of cool, but he has Siphon. That Siphon Soul is an issue. I think the Sludge Belcher is one of your biggest lines of defense.
So, gosh, you just need that Consecration to do 3 damage apiece, and I think he would actually have a reasonable board clear.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the Outdoor Peacekeeper.
Let's not forget he has... oh, no, the KT isn't going to do anything.
He's got 2 Outdoor Peacekeepers.
It's so funny, because normally when you have this many big minions, you're like, oh, KT, let's go. But
Is this just checkmate, then? Because if no matter what he does, Consecration won't reach this
double
Ancient
Belcher.
Watcher. No, the big problem is Ancient Watcher and Defender Vargas, because no matter what you do to the front line, the back line is just
clears.
6 damage.
Well, he could double Sludge Belcher.
He can Sludge Belcher Aldor.
Oh, right. He does have 2 coin
he has
available.
A coin. He kept the coin the whole game.
That might be...
I think he's going for that.
That might be his ticket.
He has to clear as much as he can, too.
And he's running out of time.
You know what? With the other charge, Sludge Belcher's better at maybe.
Oh, he's going for Consecration.
He's got to go quick. He's got to go quick.
Oh, Sludge Belcher animation take a while. So he passes it over, but I believe this won't matter because he has Soulfire in hand and a Shadow Flame. FrozenIce is going to send it to Game 5 with his Handlot deck in fatigue.
So crazy.
This was an amazing game. This almost went the other way.
So close. You're right, Frodan. If that had done 3, it's like...
RunAndGun upset to see Siphon Soul, but I got news. He would have killed you in 6 different ways this turn.
Yeah.
No, you Infernal and Shadow Flame. That's so
Oh!
All right.
Wow,
Uses
what
that.
a game.
Wow. Great play here by FrozenIce and by RunAndGun. I have to say, that Paladin game, Ben, I think you can agree, did not disappoint. He played that awesomely.
It was incredible.
Yeah. And it's just a little unfortunate, the sequence of draws. Imagine if he was able to hit some of those other big impact minions, Sylvanas, having Aldor Peacekeepers, so that way he can handle all the giants without having to use Equality.
Yeah.
Equality on that board at the end,
that would have been huge.
that would have been a really difficult spot to win
Aldors,
from.
that would have hurt a lot. And we saw that actually the Owl at the end helped so much with silencing that the Ancient Watcher that was previously taunted. So there's just so many crazy things that happen in that game.
Yeah.
So many crazy interactions. Jaraxxus ending up
Harrison
being a badass.
Jones.
Yeah,
Harrison Jones for 6. Hands in a museum.
It was crazy, but now it comes down to Priest versus Handlock, and I don't know how good of a chance RunAndGun has with Priest against Handlock. It is a tough matchup.
Priest against Control Warlock is fine, but Priest against Jaraxxus is not. So here's the ways to win. Jaraxxus is at the bottom of the deck. Thought Steal Jaraxxus. These are 2 great ways to do it.
Oh, man. If we have a Thought Stolen Jaraxxus mirror,
Oh,
and we have just 2 Jaraxxuses, that is just the craziest.
I will squeal in delight.
If this weekend
like
ends
a little hogger.
in a Jaraxxus v Jaraxxus fight,
Now,
this is great.
Just before we start, Ben, real quick, because you do work for Blizzard, the plural of Jaraxxus is Jaraxxuses or Jaraxi?
I tend to enjoy Jaraxi, but
Jaraxi.
But I could see it go both ways.
He's legendary, so it's a little bit confusing.
It's difficult, yeah. I do believe it is Sylvani,
Sylvani.
but I'm not sure if it's Jaraxi or Jaraxxuses. Job's done.
Okay, well, this is
Would that
not
be
a good start.
Windrunners? Sylvani Windrunners?
Oh,
yes.
Wait, I take that back. I thought it was a bad start, but he has silence for the Twilight Drake.
Yeah, that's really important.
But does he have a minion not the Dark Halls to trade into it? Because that's still a painful exchange. It's a 2-for-1.
It would be great if he could just draw into like a Pyro. Pyro silence is a really great way to deal with it.
Absolutely. Ooh. So FrozenIce also has other flexible ways to react to his opponent. He's got the Ancient Watcher, which can act as a floor attack minion with a lot of health, and also be problematic.
Looks like he is going to... Ooh, do you coin this now?
Do you coin out the Mountain?
I love coining out Mountain Giant. You know what the worst bad manner is? Actually coining him out. Where you'd have 5 mana.
Oh, so like...
And you coin,
Oh,
and then pay
man.
the full mana for him. That's the worst mana move you can do.
So if Mountain Giant actually costs 3 this turn, you just coin him out anyway.
Yeah. You're just like, yeah, I'll just coin out Mountain Giant. My dumb friend said that he couldn't do it. I can do it.
That is the most bad manner.
That's just about
silly thing you could do.
If you're worried about silence here, you might as well coin out the Twilight Drake because the health doesn't matter.
Yeah. If he does silence here, which he's probably gonna have to do.
He still has the availability of Ancient Watcher turn. Like this would be a poor move if he doesn't have the availability of a follow-up play, because then the Mountain Giant can't come down.
And look how great this turn is. He gets a draw off this as well.
Wow.
Just fantastic here for RunAndGun. And his hand is actually not too bad, right? He's got a way to deal with the Belcher with that Shadow Madness, plus the Dark Cultist out if there's 2 minions, of course. He's got Sylvanas. It's good cards.
Okay, well now more cards being drawn for Priest, which is good. But again, this stage, the late stage of the game is still going to be tough to win, because how does Priest deal with Jaraxxus? We're expecting some fireworks in the early game, but in the end, how does the Priest continue to push for those last points of damage?
It's a very good question. We're going to see if it gets there. There's plenty of ways that this can go different as well.
No Shadow or Death for a Mountain Giant.
Yeah, like it could end early because of that, or the priest builds a nice board and he doesn't have the Shadow Flames at the right times with the right minions to clear it.
Right. He doesn't have any AoE right now.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's just got a handful of minions right now. It's a bunch of dudes in a Mortal Coil.
And
which used to be a dude. It's a skull.
Yeah.
It's organic matter right there.
RunAndGun's being really aggressive. FrozenIce wondering if he should counter that with Ironbeak Owl and activate his Watcher before he uses Mountain Giant.
I don't think he should. Like, it only kills one minion, and he loses both of his minions. So, I don't like it.
It's so scary being aggressive against a handlock. They get those turns where they drop double Molten Giant for free. Defender of Argus. It is rough.
Set up quite the board. I think he needs to play Mountain Giants out. Life tap Mountain Giants, pretty great. Like, his hand is so big, even if he's losing stuff. The thing is, like, you have to deal with this. And if he, if he has, you know, a Shadow Word Death, it's going to make it a lot harder.
Is Sylvanas the way to deal with this?
I think it's a great way. If you play Sylvanas, you're going to take an 8-hit to the face, but it's okay. Well, actually, then he would remove one of your guys with the mount, right? It is a good question.
On the other hand, Lotheb is also a way to prevent Shadow Flame for the next turn.
If you're trying to be aggressive and just get as much damage in,
that's a good push.
Preventing Shadow Flame is good.
You have Black Knight to get past taunts.
I like it, guys. I actually like what you're saying here. Like, if he has Mountain Giants in hand, it can go terribly wrong, but this is a bad matchup. You have to take a risk if you want to win it.
Yeah, Kalento was saying it.
Pushing for damage like that is really smart because he can't clear. The best he can do maybe is attack into your Lotheb, and then he's dealt with the Mountain Giant himself.
Right, and he actually doesn't have any Molten Giants or Shadow Flames.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's got tons of cards. You got to assume he's got something like that, but he doesn't.
If that happens, though, I feel like Ironbeak Owl and Defender of Argus. I mean, heck, I still think it's a really strong thing to do.
So aggressive, but he doesn't attack with 3-2.
Yeah.
Wow. He's worried about those cheap Molten Giants.
Oh, man.
There is a lot to consider.
Yeah, you have to take care of this Sylvanas. It's a high priority. And then, I suppose... I can't see the cards.
It's so funny. He's got so many cards. He must assume that one of them is a Molten Giant.
I would assume if he had a Shadow Flame right now, how brutal would that be?
Yeah.
Oh God. I hope he Mortal Coils his own owl, by the way. I'm really hoping for that right now. So he's not going to play the other Mountain Giant this turn.
Doesn't look like it. You don't have the... I guess you could play the other Mountain Giant.
Well, you'd want to play it now. Before this. Because it's one less mana. Right. You can Mortal Coil your owl and make Artosis happy.
If he plays this, does he want to go for a defender play?
Looks like it.
If he does do that on the Giant, that sets up the Black Knight.
Ooh, that would be huge.
But he's gonna... But he's not pushing for damage, right? He's gonna be trading.
Does he attack it directly into Sylvanas then? Because he has a 5/6 taunt as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
that makes it a lot better if he does that.
Oh, face is not the right choice.
He's like rolling dice right now in his head.
His turn's almost over.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Still, the Black Knight going to be reasonable play.
Right. But, I mean, the Mountain Giants already picked up a trade, so it's not as a big swing as you'd anticipate it to be.
And how do you...
In fact, you might not even do that.
Yeah, you still got to get through the Ancient Watcher.
Yeah, the Holy Nova might be a good play here.
Your early aggression just kind of ground to a halt.
What about Shadow Madness with the Pyromancer?
That's quite good too. He's got a lot of different options here. He just has to add up all the math.
If you Pyromancer, it does 1 damage to the board. There's 3 health and 5 health remaining, and you can crash the rest with the minions in. You actually can squeeze in a draw in there too.
Yeah.
That seems good to me.
That's quite nice.
He could have played that second Pyromancer to get even more shenanigans, I guess. But they both would have died.
You draw another card.
Yeah. Well, this also prevents the Dark Cultist from dying. So you trade in, and the Dark Cultist will barely live.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a nice clear. It's a really nice clear.
All right, well,
that was well done.
Well, a good puzzle solve from RunAndGun. He cleared the board. Oh, well. The troll face.
Yeah.
He gets pretty low, and if he doesn't see Molten Giants come out, then he knows that he doesn't need to be so protective of his health.
That's true. That would be a time for Molten Giant to pop out. So I think you can make the assumption as a Priest player he doesn't have Molten Giant.
Yes.
And you have Shadow Word Death, so you're well equipped to face down those Giants.
So is this, as a Priest player, are you thinking, okay, it's time to get in there, it's time to get rid of this last 15 health before Jiraxis comes out?
If you can do that, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And probably Lothab going to be your best play too, because if you look at this hand, it doesn't. There's no good way to deal with this Earthen Ring. And yeah,
way easier said than done, though. That last 15.
Yeah, the last 15
might as well be 30, right? It just sometimes feels like that because the Priest, their reach is only Holy Fire, unless you can Thought Steal some really important cards.
Handlock's so good right now. I'm putting Valen back in my Priest deck, man.
Valen Mind Blast.
I've had enough of these handlocks. Valen Mind Blast, Holy Smite.
Boom.
You think that last 15's hard, Froden? No, no, no. Easy.
Well, he could make a big Taunt Giant, which would get Black Knighted.
Yeah, it's Black Knighted. It can get Shadow Word Death. RunAndGun does have some pretty decent options here.
You know, that 5 damage on the board, actually, it is scary. I think he's going to taunt this, actually. The Lothab? No, maybe not. I mean, he can go down to 10. Priest just never has real burst. So even if he has Holy Fire, it's like, well, he can't use it, I guess, with Lothab, but...
Yeah, the problem, can he afford to sneak away with it? Ooh, Twilight Drake is a nice draw, but he shouldn't taunt it. He shouldn't taunt it.
Yeah, taunt is a big swing.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's a swing right there.
And he's got Mind Control mana next turn for whatever Giant comes out.
Oh my god, you're right. That's huge. And we don't actually see a Siphon Soul. Priest could end up picking this up.
He's got enough mana to Shadow Word Pain that 2/3.
That is not good. And he's got Shadow Word Death. He's got Mind Control.
Oh, no, 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 no. Go to face, go to face. Go to face.
He doesn't have Molten Giants.
He has to go to face. He has to go to face.
It's pretty clear he doesn't have Molten Giants.
It's pretty clear, unless the last card he drew was a Molten Giant. Like,
even if he does have a Molten
Just go to face,
Giants.
go to face. Oh. What are you going to use this Shadow Word Pain for if not that? An owl? Come on.
Sludge Belcher, I suppose.
Speaking of.
Oh.
9 damage, 13 health.
Just dragging that card out of your hand has got to signal I don't have any Molten Giants.
What if he had 8 health right now with those 2 minions out? And, you know, it would look just like this, but 8 health, and he would not have Shadow Word Pain in his hand. I can't believe he valued that over 5 damage right now. We were talking about how hard that 15 damage is.
Yep.
And, like, he just made it so much harder.
Yeah. Well, he does have Mind Control mana next turn.
Not if this
Lothab. Not if Lothab hits, sure.
Could Lothab taunt?
He could pay 8 mana for Shadow Word Death on Lothab.
That's true. And that would be 9. And
well,
that would have killed.
He's 1 mana short of lethal even without that attack because he's got Aconite Soul Priest and Holy Nova.
Oh yeah.
So if he
got some damage. He's got some damage.
But
oh, there's that reach.
Oh my god. RunAndGun is looking like he can take this game.
Well, you got to pay 8 mana for Shadow Word Death here, right?
Yes. I think you do.
Here's another thing. What if FrozenIce draws Jiraxis?
Oh. Is that too late?
It might be too late, yeah. I think he's got this. If he just Shadow Word Deaths us, Lotheb is gone, so he can absolutely mind control the turn after. You go to face for 9.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Holy Fire is just...
He really should have used that Shadow Word Pain last turn. He would just... He might have won this turn straight up.
He still can this turn. He wants to.
Yeah, I don't think he does, though.
I think the Shadow Word Death is the optimal play.
Yeah.
The only alternative...
You've got to deal damage eventually!
Only alternative is Alkanai Soul Priest, and he's going for it.
I am very extremely surprised by this.
Wow.
Very unbelievably extremely surprised.
He's just so scared of losing, he's not trying to win.
Now there's Siphon Soul.
Yeah. He needs to try to win.
I mean, now there's Siphon Soul, so you can remove a minion on the board, gain some health, even life tap.
Man, this game could have been over.
Yes.
Sludge Belcher Faces is also pretty strong, too.
Yeah, that's a good play. Thing is, every turn that looks like this, that Mountain Giant's getting further and further from being played.
That's true.
When Draxus comes out, it's like it just will not be played. Because he'll be having the hero power every turn.
I guess it's Soulfire discard, then.
Yeah, that's true. He has plenty of cards in there that's good for that.
So...
Shadow Word Pain now good against Sludge Belcher.
It's actually very effective against Sludge Belcher.
It is.
And then you could steal that slime with the Cabal Shadow Priest.
Oh, yeah. And you can actually, that clears his board. That's a good point.
Leaves you just enough mana to hero power the other slime.
It's perfect. And then you even attack for 3.
And Lotheb correctly predicting that the end is close.
Do you use your hero power to trade with your Alkanai and keep everything lower health, or?
No, I don't think so. Like, you don't want to be able to go like watch your Shadow Flame. Like, you haven't even seen a Shadow Flame.
He is not even going
No, you gotta attack! Oh, you gotta eventually do damage to kill him!
But, I mean, he still has lethal with the Holy Fire if he holds.
You have to actually deal damage to end this game.
He's right, though.
I mean, he's
even
holding.
if he does not attack, next turn he swings with everything,
Right.
finishes the game off. Of course, if any one of his minions
He's
dies.
got Shadow Word Death. But he's got heals.
He does have heals.
Wow, he's got a lot of heals.
He's got heals for days, actually. This is...
And in fact, if he plays Mountain Giant and Earthering Farseer, he'll barely live, right?
Yes. But at that point, you've got to mind control
5,
the
9,
Mountain
10.
Giant, right? And then
That's
just go
true.
all in.
That's true.
You've got Shadow Word Death in case
15.
something gets taunted up. You've seen the Sludge Belchers already. There's
That
Draxus.
is a big deal.
That is... Okay, yeah, you have to get rid of this guy. He represents the most damage here.
Double Molten Coil, Mortal Coil on
That's
the Ooze.
also legitimate.
I actually do like that, yes. I do concur with that. That is 1 less damage, and you draw 1 more card, and those are not very useful.
Yep.
They're like Soulfire discards, that's about it. No, you don't silence that, but no. No.
You silence it, and it pretty much just expects to trade with the Cabal Shadow Priest, because attacking the face is out of the question, right?
We may not ever see that Molten Giant at this point. That Big Game Hunter is a little late.
Man.
Yeah, he's late to the party.
BGH in Priest. Run and Gun anticipated a lot of hand lock this tournament.
Yeah. Certainly does help the match.
He's not going to attack here, right? If he just goes for it now, like Holy Fires and attacks face, then Draxus
if he
comes out.
Holy Fires this turn,
man.
then I'm very sad. That's like, this is not the time to Holy Fire. You have to save that for Drax. You have to use that as the kill card.
At least he's playing consistent with this heal. Yeah, you're following the game plan of before, where you build up enough board presence to burst him down.
How funny! He's not seen any Molten Giants.
I can understand it, Frodan, but I don't have to like it. I want to see him going face.
I don't like it either. Wow, another pass. FrozenIce somehow has magically gained over 30 life this turn.
He's in his head.
All right, well, this is going to allow the BGH to come down at least.
That's true. Well, he's got 7, 8 damage on the table, plus 5 more damage in the hand. That's 13 he had 1 more mana for Holy Nova, he could end it. If he'd attacked last turn, I guess Jiraxis would be coming out if he had.
If he Soulfires and Jiraxis goes out of his hand, I just want to throw that out there. That, like, Jiraxis is why this matchup is so good for Handlock. He is so good against Priest, it's crazy.
If he lifestepped,
don't
that's over.
say such silly things, Artusis.
Oh, look.
Soul firing before Drac.
Who is that being destroyed in Soulfire? Is that Jiraxis? I don't know. I don't know who that is. He's on fire. He's being burnt up.
It's not Jiraxis.
Oh, man.
Are you sure? Is there lore to back this up?
You cannot. If this Mountain Giant, isn't it a Farseer to follow it up? And then
it can be.
So then, but you're not going to Soulfire Mortal Coil, right? That's just not. You can't do that. There's just so much risk of losing the game because you discard Jiraxis.
You're not going to do that.
All right, here we go.
Well, what are you thought stealing now? There's
Wait,
8 cards left in the deck.
Not Jiraxis.
You have to BGH. That's obvious. You have to kill this 3/3
to stay the course. You could mind control the 8/8.
Oh. You could mind control the 8/8.
Oh, I like that.
What else are you going to mind control? An Infernal later?
Have we seen a Siphon Soul? We saw 1, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And he would need, the Molten Giant plus Shadow Flame to clear the board.
And he can't get both.
I think Mind Control is actually a really strong play.
You're not going to have a better target than this.
Okay.
You're not going to have a better turn to do it on than this.
But he doesn't attack face.
Yeah, he actually shouldn't this time. Because Molten Giant is saving card.
Yeah, now he's well out of range.
Now,
you know there's Molten Giants in that deck eventually.
Now not attacking is the right play.
Yes. This is craziness. This is craziness.
Okay, he's got Shadow Flame.
Oh, now he gets it.
He Mortal Coils, draws something that can use it like Faceless. Sludge Belcher does help.
Yeah, it's not the worst card that he could have right now.
Wow.
Okay. This is still not over for him.
Is it not? He's got so much damage.
He does. But it's still... He doesn't have lethal, though, right? Because he doesn't have enough mana.
He could... Oh.
I mean, he could draw into it, like...
Shadow Madness.
Shadow Madness would just...
Shadow Madness to
Shadow
end this
Madness
game.
ends the game.
Ends the game and ends the tournament run of Frozen Ice.
Let's see.
Wow.
Let's see. Get that
Frozen
enter.
Ice
Come on.
has tried to come back so hard, all the way from 2-0.
Nope.
Oh,
it's double Holy Nova.
It is double Holy Nova. Is that it's so close.
Yeah.
It is really close.
He runs both those in, double Holy Nova. Yeah, that brings him down to 3. Then Jiraxis flies out of his hand onto the board. I think we are going to make it to Jiraxis. I believe.
But the problem with Jiraxis is...
Wait, Holy Fire.
Well, Thought Steal. He's hovering over it.
Hey, Molten Giant. What's up?
That's
It is in his deck.
like
That's true. You didn't take them out.
Oh man. He actually is so far away from playing Molten Giants at 19 mana.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would need 9 coins and Molten Giant to be his hand to play that.
He is more likely to alarm a bot Molten Giant into play than he is to play it for its actual cost.
What's the name of that card that gets a minion out of their deck and puts into play?
Mind Games?
Mind Games
Wow,
or
you're quick.
Death Lord.
Do you work on this game or something? I've literally never seen that card.
What if the Molten Giant gets drawn and he Shadow Flames it?
Wow.
Well, then he's going to be a sad panda for this move.
The Priest is out of juice.
Actually,
if that
there's
happens.
not many cards left. This might happen.
I have a feeling that's a strong possibility.
Oh!
Oh my God.
Does he tap and do it though? Does he tap and then go for the Shadow Flame?
Dude, he's going to assess the situation.
Oh man.
Wow.
God.
Some way, somehow.
Guys, my heart can't handle this much longer.
This game has gone on way longer than it should
Frozen
have.
Ice.
He's taking a nap. He says, you know what? I need to
This
rest
is too
up.
much.
Still.
What are you going to do with those cards?
Why heal yourself?
You know what's hilarious
What
here?
are you going to do with them? Nothing.
Dude,
Those Molten Giants are paperweights.
they are...
Incredible.
God.
Oh, man, RunAndGun is so mad. He smacked the table in frustration.
Oh, this 4-5 is so worthless. He has nothing to enable it.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Oh, man. You guys. He must, after those 2 Thausteals, realize that those Molten Giants had been sitting in his deck the whole game, and he should have been attacking them the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's so true. That is so true. He sees him finally top deck one, and he stole another one the turn after. He's like,
you know what?
I could have killed him like 9 times.
You know what? I bet RunAndGun has Harrison Jones in his deck.
Well, then he might lose from fatigue at this point. We're getting crazy, Frodan.
That's, yeah, it's actually a very
He doesn't have many cards left.
Here comes, you guys!
Jiraxis!
Well, he's got 30 health to eat through, and the Handlock player has a lot less cards in his deck.
He has a lot of life gain, too.
Yeah.
A lot of life gain. And there are less cards in the Draxus deck.
A lot less cards.
Oh, what? No way!
Incredible.
Who plays Spellbreaker and Priest?
He knew!
He knew. That is actually awesome, but he has Soulfire and Mortal Coil, which brings him closer to fatigue. He has to use it first, actually.
He's got Shadow Flame #2.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
Holy Fire now?
Wow, that takes him so low.
He could, actually. He could, but...
And then he could double Holy Nova.
Yeah, the next turn. Brings him so close, which means there has to be a clear. But he knows that there's another Shadow Flame. Not necessarily in hand.
I think you'd rather... Well,
Wow.
The thing is, Draxus needs to burst through the Moltens, too. Like, he has to burst from, like, 16
That's
or
true,
something.
yeah. You can't just...
Which means he needs to actually build up dudes. And with 8 points on the board...
That's funny, too. He's seen 2 Thausteals, and he's like, what did you take? Well, he saw the Ancient Watcher.
He knows what was left in his deck. He knows that the Molten Giants
That's just Soulfire fodder.
God.
So he needs to Shadow Flame.
Yeah.
And Mortal Coil.
Shadow Flame and Mortal Coil is good.
He doesn't want to draw the card.
Though, not to draw.
You Mortal Coil first before you Shadow Flame.
Yes. Absolutely. You better do that. If he draws off that, he may lose through fatigue. It is so possible.
Right. Because of Holy Fire and just damage from Holy Nova.
This is too crazy.
He's got so much damage in the form of those 2 Holy Novas.
He's on point. FrozenIce is still on top of his game, paying attention to all the small details.
He's got a lot of Infernals he needs to make soon.
Right.
He's got that Shadow Word Death, too.
FrozenIce just wants it to be over.
Oh
my God! How many cards? How many cards? How many cards?
He's got 5 cards left, I think, in his deck. I just
saw. Does he go into fatigue?
No, don't do it.
It also burns so many cards.
The funny thing is,
going into fatigue is going to enable Molten Giants.
That's true.
This is too crazy.
How is this happening?
This is actually the craziest thing I've ever seen.
No, you have to wait for him to attack more before you play Harrison again? Oh, Harrison just can't be played. You go
Harrison's
into
always going to draw you 1 more card than you have left because he's going to attack every turn.
Oh, you're right. The longer... So Harrison's just unplayable.
No, he's not unplayable. You could play him. Because that's a lot of damage. That represents more damage than fatigue to start. Oh, God. Here we go.
Does he burn a card, though?
No, he gets all of them. Because it's 5, right? So he goes up to 10 cards.
No, he burns it.
He burned the Sludge Belcher.
Oh, that's an important one, too.
Oh, wow.
Too crazy, guys.
Okay, so Soulfire should deal with this. Siphon Soul's a big draw, too.
That's a big, big draw. In fact, a Molten Giant could get played from a Draxus this game, right? That's like a possibility.
That is a possibility. He needs to not discard Soulfire.
Wow.
No, that's pretty important, honestly.
Yeah. Well,
like,
I think the Molten Giant going away.
Who knew the Priest was going to go into fatigue before the Warlock?
Yeah, seriously.
And there's that Shadow Word Death. Man, he's got so many cards.
Unless I'm crazy, I feel like Priest wins.
I think
so. He's got so many cards. And he's got all that damage in his hand.
Right. Like, I don't think Jiraxis can kill him. He's just got not enough time.
What's this last card?
This card needs to be...
King Crush.
That's a good card still. King Crush.
Yeah.
He needs to silence this in Siphon Soul,
You're
right?
not a Warlock anymore, so...
But then,
you Siphon Soul?
Just from burn alone, does he win because of fatigue damage?
Well,
hold on.
They're both in fatigue now. And
the
priest is way farther along in fatigue.
Yeah, he's deep into fatigue.
He's got a lot of healing. He's got Holy Fire. He's got double Holy Nova.
If he has the Holy Fire to kill this...
Wait, he has 2 Holy Novas. You just Holy Nova, attacking with Belcher. And that brings Draxus so low. Then you have Holy Fire next turn.
But Holy Fire... Oh, he's using it.
Really?
He's trading his Sludge Belcher.
This is crazy.
He's going to full health.
He just wants to win off fatigue.
I mean, he's just playing keep away.
But this takes so many turns to go to 10 damage off fatigue.
Yeah. That's that first fatigue damage.
Like,
the problem
is
next turn.
He can't clear all of the Infernals in time. Like, he can't clear them all at the same time.
Oh, he's taking a lot of damage.
4. God, that means next turn's 5.
And then he's going to play Molten Giants.
Is he going to take the Owl?
I think you double Holy Nova here.
FrozenIce knows, by the way, that he stole Molten Giants, right? Like, there's no reason to hold on to Sun Fury Protectors or anything else.
Okay, do you steal a minion with your Cabal? Do you double Holy Nova? Okay, he's going to steal. Obviously.
Yeah, he's got to get minions out.
Oh, wow. That means he can't heal. That means Holy Novas are bad.
Holy Novas are not good. They're a liability.
Oh, God, there's so much math to do. I'm getting heart palpitations.
I'm just going to stick with the train of thought where we have to watch what happens.
Well, you got to Siphon Soul something. Do you want to Siphon? You got to Siphon Soul the 3/5 actually here, right?
Yeah, it represents the most damage.
Oh, probably the 4/5 because you take
damage.
Of course. Right.
Well, yeah, it's Siphon Soul the Priest. It's like, oh God, why didn't I think of this before?
You know, the fact that he can't kill off the Sun Fury Protector is also bad because he's taking a little extra damage from
every damage really matters this game.
This means he attacks into the Auchenai.
Yep, and he pushes for damage.
With the Owl.
5 damage for RunAndGun.
Man.
Oh my
He's
God.
on 6 damage.
How much damage does Jiraxis take this turn from fatigue? 2? 3?
Okay, hold on. He can actually clear this, though, with double Holy Nova.
Yes.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, my
God.
God.
That's a ton of damage.
And then Molten plus Hero Power, and he lives 1 more turn, and that's enough to kill.
No, he's going to play Molten and Holy Nova if he attacks into the 6/3. Double Holy Nova.
Double Holy Nova kills
like
both, right?
Yes, if he attacks into the one on the right.
Okay. And then
he's looking at both of them.
Draxus takes Fatigue, plays the Molten, and plays... Right, because he's taking 2 Fatigue next? 2, 6...
No, I think he's taking 3 Fatigue next
3
turn.
plus 4, 7. That's lethal then. He has to double Holy. Double Holy Nova.
And that's...
because there's only 6 Fatigue
damage.
coming to free, so he passes it back and he dies. Right? How much Fatigue was that? God.
2, 6, 3.
Man.
If he plays
I
Molten
believe
Giant,
Priest wins,
he's
just barely.
so tempted to play Molten Giant because he feels like, oh, well, I'm taking damage every turn.
If you remember the fatigue amount, you actually can do it, right? You can just math this out and kill him off 2 fatigues.
No, he's going for a Holy Nova mixture play.
Okay, let's see it.
But, you know, he can't actually deal with this Molten Giant.
Yep.
By the way, if he had done the second Holy Nova, then the next fatigue kills him no matter what. So
this also seals it, and I think because FrozenIce doesn't have any taunt givers left, that's going to do it.
Wow. Incredible.
Goes for the longest BM. 10 out of 10 BM.
Well played.
Incredible. So close. 1 turn away from FrozenIce.
With his own Molten Giant.
What a match. What a match.
Just insane. Oh my God.
These guys both know it. Wow, that was so intense.
Well, whatever they were before, their relationship is different now.
Oh, man.
That game was so crazy. I can't... That was the craziest game of Hearthstone I've ever seen. Oh my God. There was like so much guessing what was in hands and like different plays based on that. You know, you have to be scared of something.
Dude, the pressure is high in that game. One of those guys
we weren't even understanding what was going on. I can't even imagine what these guys
so
was freaking out with imperfect information.
Like the Harrison fatiguing himself into Molten range.
Yeah.
The bewilderment on your face, Artosis, is priceless.
We'll never see another game like that. This This was only going to happen once.
We saw some incredible matches today. This all the matches today.
That's right. We're done. That was the last one.
I can't even believe it. Wow. This has been a sick weekend of Hearthstone. This has been an insane weekend of Hearthstone.
Yes. And it just gets better. Next week, we do it all again.
It's hard to imagine getting better than this.
Okay. This weekend, we'll see RunAndGun make a reappearance in Group D against Colenso. I didn't expect it to be him, but this was the group of death, and somehow FrozenIce was the first eliminated, and that stinks because guess what? It was behind 2 series where he lost 2-3 each time.
Oh,
that's got to be so
and they were
crushing.
Both so close too.
Yes.
Like not just a 2-3 where you get like kind of cleaned up a bit, but that was so close. Like all those games.
Ooh, so exciting.
Seriously, I got chills. It's chilly in here as well, but those games gave them to me also.
Yeah. Just a final thought. I can't believe that we've had 2 back-to-back games go to Fatigue, by the way. Remember, the previous game before Game 5 also had Fatigue Jiraxis barely being able to edge it out over the Paladin. So it was
crazy.
Quite a series.
You must be very happy with the series. Paladin, Jiraxis multiple times.
Oh, man.
I mean, FrozenIce was down 0-2 to Zoo. We thought this was going to be like, oh, maybe just 3-0s with Zoo. All right, let's pack it up. No, people who turned off the stream an hour and a half ago, you missed out.
They're fools.
Those were some awesome games.
Oh, my God. Let's take a look at the bracket for the sake of summary here of what we've seen today. You see the 4 players already in the round of 8 of BlizzCon are Titular Celestial, Quar, Kranich, and StrifeCrow, and that is China, Europe, Korea, and America. That's 4 completely different regions. Awesome to see that. The 4 players that are out already, unfortunately, of course, we have Tom, Reniauer, Green Sheep, and FrozenIce. Unfortunately, that is 2 Taiwan players, a Korea player, and a Europe player. So, pretty fantastic day of matches.
A great repertoire of who's representation. Unfortunately, Taiwan can't stick around, but I think they've made a pretty good showing. At least I know FrozenIce did. Yeah. And FrozenIce showing that he's #1 in Asia for a reason, and it's just unfortunate that it didn't fall the way for him today, but next time when he comes back, I'm sure that he'll give us another run.
I have no doubt about that.
Yep.
As for another run, RunAndGun's going to have to do that at BlizzCon.
Oh, man.
It's time for the interview, though. Let's see what this guy's thinking after such a crazy series.
That's right. That's all I want to know, Reels. What was going through your mind during that last game?
在最后一场比赛的最后阶段，你当时脑海中想的是什么？
I must admit, I'm so nervous, and 我觉得我最后是很紧张的，然后脑子里不知道在想什么，已经很空白了。
I was like so nervous. There's nothing in my mind at all.
Literally.
I don't think that's true. The literally.
Were you afraid of FrozenIce before the series? Did you know about him before you played against him?
当你在最后一场和 FrozenIce 的比赛之前，你有担心过这位对手吗？你了解他吗？
我对这个对手不是非常了解，不过我在昨天还有早上一直在观察看他的视频，研究他的套路，然后今天来跟他对战。
So he said, I'm not that familiar with him, but during this tournament, I've been watching him closely. Yesterday and today, I watched every single game, so I kind of know him after that.
Well, in 2 games, you kind of got the dream draw with Harrison Jones. You got to take out Jiraxis twice, 2 games in a row with that. Did that give you any confidence, at least?
就连续在最后2场比赛当中，在面对大王数的时候，你2次都抽到了哈里森琼斯。你对此是不是给了你信心？
抽到哈里森琼斯的时候，仿佛救了我一命。然后2场基本上都是靠哈里森琼斯来扳回了场上劣势啊！谢谢哈里森琼斯，还有谢谢这位琼斯。
Well, that was definitely top deck for me, both games, and yeah, thank you, Harrison Jones.
Cheers to Harrison Jones, and cheers to the incredible RunAndGun, and now cheers to our wonderful caster desk. You guys did a great job all weekend. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thanks.
Not too bad yourself, Rachel.
That's right. Oh. And big cheers to everyone here behind us that made this all possible.
Family portrait time.
Great players and Blizzard people.
That's right.
So this has been a fantastic weekend of Hearthstone.
That's
we
right.
broke all the viewer records for the English stream. So thank you guys very much for watching us. A big cheers to Ben Brode, who has done a fantastic job. The hero of the internet this weekend.
What? Thanks for letting me come crash the couch, you guys.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
an absolute pleasure. A big shout out also to the ESO production crew. They did a wonderful job being able to put up all the set decorations, trying to get everything in order, and of course being in on the jokes. They're the ones making the montage of Ben last night that people really enjoyed. They did a wonderful job, but it's not over yet. We still have all of the second place matches of the groups and the round of 8 to the finals this weekend at BlizzCon. So make sure you get your virtual ticket. You can get all the rewards. Go to BlizzCon, search it up. Make sure you get your tickets and find out more at Play Hearthstone on Twitter. # Road to BlizzCon and let us know what you think. Guys, any last words for the day?
Look, this is, seriously, it's been crazy, such good games. The players have been so much fun, having fun with each other, and playing some of the best games we've ever seen, the most entertaining games. But if you think that this was good, wait until BlizzCon, because we are narrowing this down to the best of the best that's left in this tournament, and the matches are only going to get stronger.
Yeah, the road to BlizzCon ends at BlizzCon, and this is going to be the greatest BlizzCon of all time.
Absolutely. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll see you guys next time. From Frode and Artosis, Ben Brode, ESL, and all the people at Blizzard, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys this weekend.